Welcome to Knafs at Night. I'm Ben.
I'm Austin.
And today we've got a brand new USA-made Knafs knife to show you.
We're gonna be snacking on ultra stuffed Oreo that also doubles as a sword.
Delicious. And we're going to go to Germany to visit a knife shop out in Hamburg.
Let's go.
Let's go. So first today we're gonna be talking about this brand new knife that we're releasing at Blade Show West.
Before we do that, Ben, can we crunch some numbers on what Blade Show West is?
Sure.
Let's freaking get into it.
Okay, so as this video comes out, literally we are standing at Blade Show West.
Yeah, hey guys.
Past, future, we're all there.
Yeah.
But we just want to do a little inside baseball on Blade Show, how it works. So we pay to be there. Obviously, vendors pay to be at a Blade Show.
Yep.
You want to know how much we pay, Austin?
I would love to know.
All right, so if you're in Texas or Utah, you're going to pay $1,000 for an inline booth. So
All right.
10 by 10
for
2 days.
Okay.
If you get a corner booth, you pay $1,200.
Okay.
If you get a table, you pay $550. These are the early bird prices.
Oh.
Now, if you're in Atlanta, it's a 3-day show, so the price goes up.
Yes.
So it's $1,600 for an inline show.
Wow.
And $1,800 for a corner booth.
Dang.
For those 3 days. The thing I wanted to know, and this is where we need the math. In fact, this comment from Mal Wagner 6090, he said, "Found my home, Nerd Central. Prove it, brother. Here we go. We need some math done.
Yes.
I want to know, how much money does Blade Show make on a show like Blade Show West? So you can literally go look up the map, count the number of inline booths, so the ones in line, and then the corners. So inline again, $1,000. Corners are $1,200, and then you can count the tables. We would like a total in the comments, please, if this is truly Nerd Central.
Interesting. Are we gonna start our own Blade Show? Is that what we're doing?
No, I have absolutely zero interest. Oh, that. Have you ever seen Alicia like running around with her hair?
I have.
So
She's
Alicia
the hero.
runs the Blade Show. She is like the hero of all the shows.
Yep.
And it's like this trail of like smoke and ash coming off her hair. Like it's just, can you imagine like organizing anywhere from 5,000 to like 12,000 people? And then you got vendors, and we're all needy. We're needy little babies.
And she's our single source.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, Alicia will hate me for saying this, but the last show I was at, she's like hair on fire, and she's like, "They don't pay me enough for this." Which honestly, I think every job has moments where you're like, they don't pay me enough to do this.
Totally.
Stuff. So shout out to Alicia. Let us know your math numbers down in the comments.
Sweet.
Additionally, if you're coming in from out of town, there's costs for travel, hotels, and you have to ship all your stuff in.
Shipping, yep.
These shows ain't
flights,
cheap, folks.
all of that good stuff.
Support the makers that go to shows because they have put a lot on the line to be there.
And thanks for doing our accounting for us.
Yeah. Blade Show, Utah?
Blade Show West.
Here
we go.
All right. We teased it long enough, guys.
We're still going to tease it. Subscribe to the newsletter, folks. This is our opportunity. Last week, Jack from Michigan was our big winner of the newsletter. Won-a-Lander won.
We give away a knife every week, guys.
Yep, we're giving away a knife every week. Head on over to the description, sign up for our newsletter. You just have to be subscribed to be entered. That's it.
Yep. Love it. And that's a lifelong subscription. If you're in, you're always entered.
You're in the crew.
Yep. All right. That's long enough, guys.
Okay.
We teased it. Here it is. This is the large Lulu.
Yes.
Made in the USA.
Amazing.
So here's what we did. We took the original Lulu and we said, let's make it bigger. In fact, when I took the original Lulu to the Amazon, do you mind handing me that one?
There you are.
It is a wonderful whittler. It's excellent. But if you try to baton with this thing, it is hot garbage. And I say that as a guy who designed it, and I have a vested interest in the success.
Yeah.
It just does not baton well because you only get 2.9 inches of blade length there, so you're not going to baton anything substantial because really by the time you're batoning, you need a little bit of space down there, not a lot to work with. And let's be honest, batoning is fun.
Oh, one of the best.
I love it.
Yes.
So we looked around, we said, how do we make this knife bigger? And we looked at LT Wright.
Yeah.
And this is probably the strangest project I've ever done because they're made in limited handmade batches in Ohio.
Yes.
50 pieces at a time.
One of the coolest pieces of this knife is they're like mid-techs basically. Like they are all hand assembled, hand finished, hand polished, all of this stuff.
LT Wright does not have a CNC machine.
How cool is that? That tells you all you need to know.
It's cool, but it literally, like if you're looking at this going like, I want that, and it's not available. It's not available because this is like small batch. It's like a small batch cheese that you can only get occasionally when the full moon is out.
It's cool in the same way that those YouTube channels that are about like primitive fire making and stuff are cool. It's like no tools, no accessories. Let's just like make this from our hands kind of thing.
And obviously they're using grinders and tools and stuff. But
water
like
jets or whatever.
His goal is not to make millions and millions of knives. His goal is to make very high quality pieces. And this is amazing. It's A2 steel. You got the classic micarta, green micarta handle with a G10 underlace, and then it's a full flat grind from LT Wright.
Pinned handles.
Pinned handles.
Yep.
So this is a
One
departure
difference.
for us.
Yep.
We usually like to have interchangeable hardware and things like that. Again, limited sort of release.
Yep.
There will be 50 pieces initially, and from there, we'll reorder. It'll take about 3 months to get another 50 pieces. Like, this is going to be slow burn, slow run sort of stuff. So that is the large Lulu. Comes in a Kydex sheath.
Also handmade.
That we make in-house.
Yes.
So everyone's like, hey, you should make some stuff in the USA. This is the first thing we've ever made in the USA, is this Kydex sheath. Keith makes them in the back of Knafs.
He's not moved on, but he has expanded into also Kydex sheath making.
It'll come with a belt loop, standard belt loop, and then we designed the sheath to work with oldie clips and with tech locks and all the different locks and things.
All the good stuff.
But the reason the Lulu series exists for me is to try to make things domestically. You and I have talked a lot about China.
Yes.
We've talked a lot about overseas manufacturing. We do business there, folks.
Yep.
We are not, we're not here to say, we only USA made.
Only way to go.
But I think that a balance there is really good. So for me, it's less about, location and more about the individual humans making it. And I think LT Wright's super fun to work with. He's been amazing. The number of what do they call those calls on the iPhone?
What are they selling? Chocolates? What?
Video
FaceTime.
calls? FaceTime. That's
FaceTime.
what I needed.
Wow.
Half your brain leaves when you're
There
on
we
camera,
go.
guys. He'll hit me up on FaceTime and he'll be like, how do you like this chamfer? Is this going to work? That's been a really fun process for me to work with LT and his team. So huge shout out to them. It is called the Lulu.
The large Lulu.
The large Lulu.
Yes.
And it is available as this video is out.
Yep.
So
Today.
Yep,
pick it up.
It will be a Knafs.com exclusive. Our dealers will hate us for that, but we still love you.
We still love the
big
dealers.
hearts.
Yep.
So
right on. And that's it for the excuse me. We have Sancho pens to talk about still too. Yes.
This thing's on its about the middle of the campaign.
Yeah,
for
we're
Sancho.
probably most of the way through at this point of the Sancho pen. Thank you so far for all of these great results. We're really stoked with how this is going so far.
If you had told me that 400 people would be interested in a super high-end Bic pen,
Yeah, never would have believed it.
I'd have been like, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you kind of believe it because you launched the campaign.
Well, and come to find out that there were other Bic sort of cartridge things that you could buy beforehand too. So there is a market out there for it.
There is,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
If you're unfamiliar with the Sancho pen, we launched this on Kickstarter. It's still available. You can go back it with the best price you'll get on the internet at this point.
Yes.
It takes a Bic crystal insert,
Yes.
which is my favorite pen.
All-time.
Favorite.
Yep.
And then it has toothpick and tweezers up here in the, what do they call that? The barrel?
Yeah, I don't know what you
We've
would call
learned a
that. It's
lot
near the
about
cap,
pens.
but there is no
Yeah.
cap. So
There's no cap.
Yep, up near the clip there.
Did you hear that? No cap.
No kid.
My work is done here.
Oh boy, yeah. Brass and titanium. Go back it right now. Got a couple of days left on that bad boy. So
Yeah.
thank you for the support. We're excited about it.
It's fun. If somebody wants another math challenge, let us know how many times Austin says bad boy in the last 13 episodes.
Oh.
Give us a count.
Interesting.
I'm curious.
I would love to know.
You actually say it often.
Okay.
Which I think is great. I'm not telling you not to
Good.
say it. I just, if this is Nerd Central, give us a count, guys.
Bad boy is not that nerdy. Come on now.
I know, but I want to know frequency. This is
Let's get some data. Let's get
this
some
is a
graphs, some charts.
yeah.
Let's go.
This is a linguistic frequency test.
I like it.
I'm curious.
Cool.
Thank you guys for doing our math.
Drop
for us.
that bad boy in the comments. All
Now
right.
you're
and
going to do it just to increase the count.
now we're off of Knafs News and we're on to the Moon Crew moment.
Oh, I love it. Okay, we had a few things come in this week. First is
Question about screws, hardware.
from Lance Phillip.
Yes, he said he strips his T6s specifically, constantly, and
Why-
wants to know why we use them.
Why do knife designers insist on T6 screws? Do I have any insight? Do you have that knife in your pocket today?
I might have
Let's
something in
see,
here.
let's
Yeah, a little
see.
banter 2 action.
Well, Banter 2. Okay, so Banter 2 is interesting because you actually have T8s and T6s. And if you're unfamiliar with screw types, most pocket knives will use a combination of T6, T8, and T10. So the problem with T8s is they are big. They're wide.
They require a big head because that's a big hole, right?
Correct. And so what you'll find is a lot of pocket clips have T6s. So these screws right here are T6s, those are T8s. And I absolutely agree with Lance. T6s tend to strip a lot more easily than T8s. So let me teach you all a trick because this will make your life easy and happy and wonderful. I'm not going to guarantee it, but
I might.
When you're doing T6s, the trick that I do is I always try to get the screw in there and then get that driver into the palm of your hand, get your arm engaged, engage your core, and then spin it.
Are your abs tight? You're doing it wrong if they're not tight.
But basically, what you're doing is you're putting that force downward into that screw, and then you're breaking the Loctite. Most screws come with blue Loctite or some thread locker on them, and a lot of times you'll have to work for it, but if you keep that downward pressure, it doesn't want to strip out because you're basically forcing the pressure into that screw head, and it works easier that way.
The most common way to strip these screws is not enough pressure, allowing the bit to slip up and out, and you pull out a little material as you're rotating it, and you do that over and over enough times, you're going to end up with just a hole with no grip. So yes, push down, seat that as far as you can, and keep that pressure consistent as you're driving up.
The other thing is I have stripped screws out with bad bits. So all bits wear out over time, even Weehaw bits, which we love. We do love Weehaw bits, but they will wear out if you use them a lot. So definitely check your bits. If you're starting to strip a screw out, check your T6, check your T8, because it might be time to replace them, which we also sell Weehaw bits individually on the website.
Yeah,
You're
check
welcome.
them out.
Which, by the way, when we picked up Weehaw bits, who knew that we'd ever do a collaboration with them?
So cool. Yeah, that's still kicking around, by the way. Go check it out on Weehaw's website.
Next up, Tommy Room.
Yes.
This is cool.
This was really cool. So this is a Viking sword display in an airport. I don't recall where
In
it
Oslo,
is.
Norway.
In Norway, perfect.
Yeah.
And I tried to read a little bit. He posted a picture of kind of the rundown of what these are, and this is like a collection of
The world's most comprehensive collection of artifacts from the Viking Age.
real historical Viking swords.
That's so cool.
Really, really neat. Yeah, we were talking earlier, like, why don't more airports have kind of cool displays like this, you know?
I love it. Like, because you always end up at the airport early. Like, why not teach us something cool while we're there?
Yes, I
love it.
agree.
Good find, Tommy. That's awesome.
Touches our soul.
And lastly, Esteban Cortazar. Black micarta or moondust micarta?
A good question. And first of all, I'd like to say I love your clip choice, Esteban. Very nice. He's got some
Two
lynch clips on there,
clips,
and even
yeah.
matched the black with the black. And for that reason, I'm going to choose the black one.
I think that's fair. I love the moondust finish.
Okay.
Okay, story time. Moondust finish came in, and I thought, what have we done?
Yeah, it was one of our happiest little accidents.
It was.
Yeah.
In fact, I was like, this is not stonewashed enough. It was supposed to be a gray stonewash. And it was like, you know what? In fact, hand me that Lander 4 there. We just have this one sitting on the table. It really looked nice.
Yes.
And my friend Ricky, who makes patches, was like, why don't you call it Moondust Finish? Turn it into lemonade. And I was like, let's go.
Awesome.
It's turned into a thing. So happy little accidents, lemons, lemonade, all the things. So.
Maybe our most desirable colorway, too. So really,
Micarta
really
and
cool.
Moondust,
Yep,
yeah.
super cool.
It's a fun one. So Esteban, also I got a comment on your desk. Beautiful desk setup.
But we look at these before the show, and Ben spent half the time commenting about how nicely the organized desk was. So
it's envy,
yes.
because my desk is a huge mess.
We're
always.
aspiring.
You know, I've realized like things like land on my desk and they just like proliferate. I have to like fight it back every week.
Oh yeah.
And if I don't, it's
you've got a lawn growing on your desk.
Oh, we're on the Ship Shape Sharpening Shop. Let's go
do
to the shop. Welcome to the Ship Shape Sharpening Shop, where we show you what's coming through our shop in Clearfield, Utah to get sharpened. Here we have a Benchmade Auto Immunity. This thing is snappy, guys. It wants to jump out of your hands. I'd almost say Protex style jumpy on the spring. And then we got a couple fixed blades that came in. We got a buck, an old USA made Portland, Oregon Gerber. I said it was a buck. This is actually a Gerber, folks. Whew. It's only 9 in the morning, folks, and I walked in like 5 minutes ago. So the other one we got is a Browning USA. I don't know if this is actually made in the USA, so if you know, I'd be curious. The sheath is definitely made in Mexico because it says on the back. One little fun thing that I enjoy, right here you've got the initials of the owner, SH, which it looks like he threw in there as a child or as a teenager. You never know. It's fun to see the pieces that come in, especially because we always are talking about new knives. I love seeing these heritage pieces that come through our shop. Back to the desk.
Coming back from the shop, we are into a new segment. We're replacing the bottom of the barrel that we've been doing previously.
Because Athena hated it.
Because somebody hated it. And so we're going to do a product spotlight. We kind of all got together and decided we want to touch some of our favorite products and tell you guys what's really, really great about them. So let's jump in.
So, and also give a little bit of the backstory
Some of the history.
to some of the products. Because we are like creating things all the time, and we'll tell the story when it's released. But then it's like, how many people have never heard the story of it? So we're going to tell the story of our bit driver. So this is actually from our shop. We like to put the drawings in our shop in Clearfield, Utah. Come visit us.
Yeah.
And so this is my original drawing on this thing. And the idea was basically based on an iFixit tool. So I drew this in December of 2020.
Wow.
What a time.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. That's cool.
Anyway, so we carried these iFixit bits. In fact, Nick Shabazz turned me on to these iFixit bits, or bit drivers. And I loved them, but I was always losing the bits because these will carry one bit up here.
Yep.
And I was like, well, what if you created a magnetic system with a little nail nick to pull the bits out and had a kind of a barrel, a spinning, what do they call that? I don't even know what they call
End
it.
cap?
A spinning end cap?
Yeah.
So we went and prototyped it. Matt Fitz did a ton of work on this. In fact, this was the first project that Matt Fitz worked on.
Yes.
And so he took this original drawing and put this together, and we ended up with a spinning end cap, like a fidget spinner. In fact, when I went to the supplier, they were like, I want an end cap that spins, is what I asked for. And they were like a fidget spinner? And I was like a fidget spinner indeed.
Yes.
Anyway, so this was the bit driver.
So cool.
And many people have enjoyed this.
What's it modeled after?
It's modeled after the Saturn V rocket, which is kind of weird and cheesy. We basically designed it, and then we're like, how do we craft a story around this thing? So you can see actually the art on the packaging has a Saturn V rocket. This is the rocket that took astronauts to the moon.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dang cool.
I don't know that this is like a secret piece of it, but I love how it well reflects the Saturn V rocket on the tip, even with your tip in the end of it. It almost has that same antenna kind of.
Have you ever had a dream you do?
Point to it.
Yes. In fact, so what I told Fitz, I was like, Fitz, make it look like a Saturn V rocket. So he took these cues, kind of this knurling here, and I was like, make it look like a rocket. And I think we did a pretty good job on it.
Yeah.
So.
I personally think this is maybe our best product in terms of like something that I didn't know that I needed and that I use all the time. It's a great solution. I don't see a lot of stuff like the iFixit is very similar, but it doesn't have the storage. It doesn't have the ease swappability.
It
doesn't spin quite as well. It's not that fidget spinner, baby. So.
And I love iFixit. In fact, I would say iFixit, their mentality about right to repair is where I got that mentality.
Cool.
So it's been a really good thing to have. We don't carry them anymore, but we still have a lot of love for them.
Still love them. Yep. And we just updated this with the T10, so you're not getting a flathead anymore.
Used to come with a flathead.
Yep.
That's my mistake. Why did I do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought to myself, like, there are a lot of Emerson pivots and some CRKT M16s that have a flathead.
It could also be like a light pry too, which is kind of nice.
But there are a lot more Spydercos that have T10s than those others. So we switched to a
found.
T10. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, but
product development is
works with all microbits. Use what you like.
Yep. That's fun. I like that better than bottom of the barrel.
That was good.
What are we calling it? Product Spotlight?
Product Spotlight, which maybe help us come up with a fun name for that.
Do we need a better name for that?
Maybe.
Where's our Nerd Central?
Someone get on that bad boy.
I love it. And next up we have Mailbox. I'm going to go a little bit off our new rundown here, Austin, because just yesterday my friend Pete from Cedric and Ada came out with a new video. I don't remember what the song is called, but we're just going to gratuitously steal it and play bits of that for you right now. And somebody in the comments of Pete's video wanted to know how I feel about that. I was delighted.
Yes.
Not everybody gets a heavy metal song about their knife.
I couldn't have imagined that we would have not only one song, but two songs hit this show somehow. One from AI, and now the Sendy song.
It's AI too.
Yeah,
it's
probably
absolutely
AI too.
AI. But it's delight. This is what AI was made for: is heavy metal songs about the Civivi Sendy. So cool. Here's the thing. Shout out to Pete from Cedric and Ada. He's been doing this for years. He has a steel chart that is miles long of all these knives he's tested with his sisal rope tests. Like, it's funny. It's hilarious. He puts his cat in there. He puts his Bob Ross moment in the video. But really, like, Pete drives the industry forward by doing actual user knife testing and steel testing and resharpening in ways that help us all. Like, for me, knowing that the Sendy can do 275 cuts of sisal rope, and because of the belly on this knife, like, that stuff helps us. So huge shout out to Pete. Love what you're doing, man. And one day let's hang in Australia. I'd love to cuddle your cat. That sounds weird, but let's leave it in.
Thanks, Pete. Cool. Should we do comments or do we want to do box and cards?
Man. Let's do
box and cards.
Box and cards.
Let's do it. What are we looking at here?
Okay,
I
so-
don't know anything about this box.
I will tell you, this is from,
Well, there's a fan in it.
yeah. So this is from our friends at Ray Knives, Ray International. They make a whole bunch of knives for a whole lot of different brands, and they were in town and came to visit us.
Yeah.
And it is customary in Asian culture when you visit someone to bring a gift. And so we gave them Gushers from America.
Werther's candy. With some Werther's in
With
there.
some Werther's.
There's
No,
some
but
Werther's.
like I went to the grocery store and I'm like, what would be a nice gift for somebody coming from Asia? And I'm like, what is more American than Gushers?
Yeah, really sweet candy.
Anyway, they topped that by bringing a fan from Nanjing, China. Super cool. So
good pickup.
I love stuff like that. I think it's really fun, and it's this wonderful like cross-culture collaboration.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Ray.
I love it.
Super cool. And we've got some kit cards here.
These are cool.
I think that's what they're called.
So I recently met Jordan from Grimm Workshop, and they make all of this really interesting, I'd call it survival gear, bushcraft gear. This is a card that they do, all made in the USA. You got fish hooks, you got like a rasp on there, you got a couple blades, a needle, some pretty cool stuff. And in fact, we're going to be doing a giveaway of some of this stuff in the next month or two. But if you're looking for some interesting, cool survival gear, I think this is
Tweezers.
Tweezers.
Yeah, super cool. And maybe a little saw
Stamped
there.
tweezers.
Yeah.
What a delight.
Yeah, you can
What a
kind of
world
cross
we
them
live
there.
in.
These are actually really neat. I had not seen these before. I am really interested in that one. I like that. I look at that and I'm like, I want to try fishing with those hooks. I
Yeah.
want to put that on a piece of wood and shoot it as an arrow. Like that's really cool.
Yeah. I have seen somebody, who was it? I'm going to get Jamie behind camera. Tim, my friend Tim from Everyday Tactical Vids, caught a fish with a Cheeto and one of these ones.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
In a stream in Atlanta, it's called Rottenwood Creek in Atlanta. It's disgusting. And he straight up caught a little
Name is
fish
good.
out of that thing with a Cheeto. So don't discount it, folks. Ooh, and look at that. That's actually really
Hey.
cool. Little piece of sandpaper so you can sharpen the tips.
That
of
is cool.
Your pieces and parts there. So
Thoughtful.
well done, Jordan. I'm stoked to have you in my network of folks that I think are cool.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for sending it along.
that's mailbox.
Sweet some
Ooh,
comments.
and we got some comments.
Sweet some
This
comments.
This is fun.
Yes.
Bavarian EDC asked, will this pen be available in Europe? He's referring to the Sancho. Absolutely. Shipping, we've actually subsidized the shipping on the Kickstarter is $15 anywhere in the world.
Yep.
So that might not be what it costs everywhere, but we've tried to make it affordable for everybody.
Super cool. PJ Crabtree is asking, El Salvador, do I smell a Knafs machete?
Hard to know. I probably shouldn't have even said we were talking to El Salvador. You know, the problem with Inside Baseball is Inside Baseball.
And we keep on digging, baby. Let's get farther inside. Let's go.
Sometimes I should just keep my mouth shut because we are chatting with our friends at Condor and Imakasa about a project. Whether that project happens or not, we have no idea. But where there are people who make good things, we're probably chatting with them one way or another.
I think you could sum it up as like, we're always trying to improve. What's the next thing? What's our next thing? And we're always also looking for great partners, great suppliers.
Yep. Jappy Skate said, I love my lander, but the pivot screw is always loose. After I use it, I clean the pivot screw and put Loctite on it. It still comes loose. Do you have any tricks or something? First trick is let the Loctite dry.
Yeah, it's got a cure. So I typically give it, a full day, 24 hours, maybe even 2 days to kind of let that set, harden, get its teeth into those threads.
Yep. And we would love to know from you guys if you've got a pivot that doesn't want to stay in place. What other tricks have you found? And frankly, if you keep having the problem, our warranty's pretty dang good.
Let us know. Yep. Maybe it's more than just that issue, and we can help you out. So.
Yep.
Yep.
Next from John Eric Butcher.
Yeah. So we have moon scales. Maybe let's experiment with other planets. Jupiter has an amazing landscape. Big red storm, color band. Saturn. How about Pluto?
So we tried Mars, guys. We did the moon.
We've done the Mars.
I was planning on this.
Yeah.
I was literally planning on this. We were
Whole
going to do
solar
the moon.
system.
We were going to do Mars. And let's talk about Mars for a minute, guys. Nerd Central here. Mars is like an oxidized planet. So you get we always call it the red planet. You get all sorts of reds and browns and different colors that are all in this red-brown spectrum. So we made these scales of the red planet. And some of them were a little more brown.
Yeah.
And let's call a spade a spade, they look fecal.
Nerd. Yes, they were maybe not the reddest of scales.
So, if you guys want more planets and more scales, let me know. But nobody wanted Mars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Mars is just not as cool as the moon.
You know, maybe that's the issue. Maybe we haven't visited Mars yet. People don't care about it. I don't know what it is, but...
Fun little story on that. I was in Germany. We're going to go there in a minute. And I was talking to a guy named Cedric. He's Zippos EDC on Instagram.
Yep, he's a great
He
guy.
owns the Mars scales. He's like, I bought them. I held them in my hand and bought them. He's like, they just look like poop.
And you said, thank you.
I said, you knew
Yep,
when you
yeah,
bought them.
You
Your
got to
fault.
try them first. You're fine. Cool.
I love it.
Yeah, next one here from Diego. Hey, Ben, I know this really isn't your jam, but could you possibly give an OTF some Knafs secret sauce?
No.
Why?
Here's the deal, Diego. OTFs are really fun. OTFs are great, and I think there are some people making amazing ones. Andy from Guardian Tactical comes to mind.
Yep.
I don't have anything to add to that conversation at this point. And they're technical, they're full of parts and pieces, and I can only think of the warranty challenges they have if things come off track. Someday maybe, but I don't love OTFs personally. Mm-hmm. They're aggressive.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation because I am definitely one of those people that have asked Ben, when are we doing an OTF?
And they're money makers. Mm-hmm. Like the number of OTFs that sell at places that sell them, they are huge money makers.
Yeah.
I just don't like money.
There's some hidden risk that comes along with them as well. But what I like that you said is like, you're not an OTF guy, so it's really not a priority for you. I think that at least right now in the stage of our business, like our best products are going to be the ones that we're passionate about, right?
Yep.
And if we're not hyper passionate about OTFs at the moment, then maybe that's not our best product.
And that
right
could
now.
change for me someday.
Yeah.
I think when I say they're aggressive, that sound, I've heard it related to like the racking of certain firearms.
Slide.
Yeah. And to me, I don't want that aggressiveness in our knives. Like,
Got it.
I want them to be friendly with communities. And some people take a totally different approach. There are brands out there that make a ton of really aggressive knives for all different purposes. That's not really what Knafs is about. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Thank you,
Right on.
Diego.
Yep.
Wonderful question.
Great questions.
By the way, we forgot to talk about this at the beginning when we were talking about Blade Show West. If you are at Blade Show West, booth 119 for Knafs, we are going to have a $2 Lander 2 event as well.
Yes.
I think that's Saturday morning. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie. And we're going to have a scale swap meet, which I hope is amazing.
Yes.
Bring your excess scales,
Yep.
and we will swap them.
Yep. So we'll have a table laid out with, a handful of sets of scales, and the goal is take a penny, leave a penny. Take a set of scales, leave a set of scales. So
I love it.
Yeah, we're excited about that one.
And we're back to the edge of intelligence where we let AI tell us what we're doing next.
Open that sucker.
Oh, I am.
What do we got
I
this
am.
week?
Man, I don't know if we can top Pete's song, but here we are.
It was good.
The prompt.
If you were to create a knife that is a cross between a Cold Steel Espada XL and a Spyderco Ladybug, nice, what would it look like? This is from Google Gemini.
Google Gemini.
Yes. Well, it actually did a pretty good job, actually.
Not terrible.
Yeah, I like whatever this surface texture is on the handles. It's kind of unique.
So a ladybug?
Ladybug Teeny, Espada XL, pocket sword.
Huh.
How do you mix those two together? This is like if a large poodle had a dog with a, I don't know.
Terrier.
There you go.
Is it terrier
A
a small one?
schnauzer,
I like
something
it.
like that.
This is fun. You got two deployment methods. You got a flipper.
Oh, yes,
As
and
well
the
as
thumb
a
hole.
thumb hole. I have questions if the blade is going to fit in the handle.
Yeah, it's a big blade. That's a long
Also,
one.
check out where that pivot is.
Have we talked about it's a lefty?
It's definitely a lefty.
That's a
but Have we
lefty.
talked about, look at that pivot is
Yeah,
going
that's
to
a
send it into
no.
your
That looks
leg.
right to me. That looks right. Yeah, that'll
love
be a
it.
tall knife when it's closed. It'll be a double tall knife.
I love it.
Yeah, super cool.
Don't sleep on AI, guys.
Yep,
It's coming for us.
That's my job pretty soon, right there.
I love it. Next, we're going to Hamburg, Germany to visit Knife Lounge Altener
Silber.
Silberwerkstatt.
Yeah, Werkstatt. Yeah.
Let's go. Check out that teapot. Maxie is one of the most enthusiastic knife dealers in the world, and this is her store. Tell me the name of the company.
Yeah, the name is German and it's Altona Silberwerkstatt.
Say it one more time.
Altona Silberwerkstatt. I I grew up in Eastern Germany. I didn't know my father because he flew to the Western Germany part and we are not allowed to see each other. Yeah, my father founded the Altona Silberwerkstatt and he was a galvanizer and also a bladesmith. I found him on the internet and he told me, yeah, come over here to Hamburg, quit your college and be a trainee for me. My mother was not amused. We are going to repair some knives, but table knives. So what we do is we change the blades made of silver. I'm a master electroplater, so yeah, I'm a crafty woman, you call it. Yeah, and looks good. And now I'm filling in the tin into the handle, and you can see it's in. Now we need to clean the tin and polish the handle. How can I say? We love this machine the most. They are no longer produced. I just polished the handle and it's ready to go for another generation in a family. We have another room. It's small, but I think it's fine. A fine selection of great knives.
So, Ultim scales.
You can see the names.
I signed it. What is up, guys? There it is.
So this is a very old silver plate teapot. And one of our jobs is to remove the dent and to give this teapot a new generation of life. But we are specialized on repairing.
Very cool. I could drink something fancy out of that thing, right?
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to my friend named Felix. He works at Knife Lounge. What's in your pockets, Felix?
The Riyadh Torrent,
Look at those pants.
Nottingham Tactical Pen, the Knafs Mini Buster, credit card knife, here, little Spider Capucci, then flashlight. We got our Knife Lounge exclusive, the Big Bang. This is the Spyderco Mantra.
When you go out, you carry all these knives with you? Wow.
Then I got a primer from our Arcane Design, the PM2. I think that's it.
Amazing. Thank you, Felix. And there you have it from Alton Silver Werkstatt. Did I get the name right, Maxie? And where can people find you online?
Oh, we are at knifelounge.com, or if you can spell it, altona-silberwerkstatt.de.
I can't spell it. KnifeLounge.com, Maxie, thank you. And back to the desk. And we're back to the desk as promised. Austin, Knife Lounge is cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I have one regret.
What?
I didn't spin in the chair. In
That
fact,
was
I
a
didn't
spinny
even.
chair.
I didn't even sit in the chair.
Oh, that is a
I've got to
regret.
go back.
Yeah.
I don't. It was just like I was filming. We were
You
doing
can
all
count
this
on him
stuff.
next year, folks.
But I want to go spin in the chair.
That's cool.
So-
too bad.
Pretty cool.
That's
Austin,
okay.
what you got in your hand there, man?
I was hungry. I got a little hungry. We got a sword. The Swordorio. I don't know that we have a great name for this yet. Swario? Yeah, the Swario. Another print from the printer of our friend Matt Wheelwright. And it's a cream stuffed sword. I don't know what else really.
64, I think.
Oh yeah, 64
stuffed together.
stuffed. Yes, that
The
is
end
true.
is a trademark
Yeah,
violation, which I love.
You probably shouldn't sell that.
Probably
but
shouldn't sell it, but you
yeah.
know, it's got the Oreo. Nabisco loves it, I
Yeah,
think.
that's fan art, is what that
fan
is.
art,
Yes,
that's right.
that's fan art.
I love the 3D printing scene. In fact, I have a 3D printer sitting over there that is not plugged in. This is my
Yeah.
original Prusa printer. It's sitting over there.
Yeah.
And I need to plug it back in because we're not using it at Knafs anymore.
We finally upgraded at work because we needed to print so many dang corn scales.
I know. The corn scales drove us away.
Yep.
So I think, what do we have? A Bamboo HR now?
It's a
Bamboo
P1,
Labs?
P1S, something like that.
Is
Yep.
it Bamboo HR? No,
No,
that's...
Bamboo HR is the
that's a
Bamboo HR.
different place.
Yep, Bamboo Lab.
But if you're not into 3D printing, you should try it out. It's really fun. All of our scales, except for the Lulu, the large Lulu,
Yeah.
are open source. So you can 3D print your own scales. That's why we have scale swap meets,
Yep.
is so that you can make things, swap them bring them. So, guys, thanks for watching. This is fun. What an interesting, weird show
Yeah.
that we've done here.
Come see us at Blade Show.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Back the Kickstarter for the Sancho pen.
Yes.
Check out the large Lulu today.
Yes. It's expensive, by the way. $260.
Yeah.
65.
65.
265.
$265.
I make no apologies. It's limited. It is what it is. It's USA made, handmade.
And to be frank, the reason that it is D2C only is so we could keep that price a little bit lower.
Yeah. If it were going to dealers as well, it would be like a 330. It would be a very, very expensive knife.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you every week. We look forward to seeing your math in the comments.
We'll see you next time.